But what people forget is that for someone to win, someone else has to lose.
It is better to win, though.
Of course. Actually, speaking of winning, I have a few developments that Ruthless Digressions listeners will be thrilled to hear about.
Oh, care to share with those listeners or your co-host?
Like I told my niece at Survivor Series, patience, Robin, patience.
LJ, welcome to SmackDown. How you doing? I'm sorry that Survivor Series didn't go so well.
Yeah, not the debut I was hoping for.
Well, you're here now, and have your whole career ahead of you. Listen, I may just be a cameraman, so I can't help train you, but I've been with WWE long enough that I pride myself on knowing how things work around here. Happy to answer any questions you might have.
How do I get a match?
Well, you'll want to talk to Molly first so she can let you know what management has in mind for you. But generally, I've found that matches in WWE, whether they come from management or not, get booked in one of two ways: talking to people or checking your social media messages.
Checking my social media? So you're saying I shouldn't try to go on a social media hiatus while I'm a WWE superstar?
Definitely not. Even a dinosaur like me relies on that instrument of the devil. If you don't check your social media, both the public feed and your direct messages, you might miss out on opportunities. Not everything there will lead to a match, but it's worth keeping up with what the WWE Universe is up to.
Okay, so check my social media feed and direct messages. Got it. And what did you mean by talking to people?
I mean just that. Aside from being booked by management, you'll find that chatting with other superstars, the crew, or even other backstage visitors can lead to opportunities. Sometimes people might have favors to ask of you, others might have bones to pick. You know how they say it's who you know? That's definitely true in WWE. Who you know and who you talk to.
Huh, seems so easy.
It is. Don't try to put too much on your plate, though. You can always tell somebody who wants a favor no and come back to it later, or diffuse a tense situation. But once you agree to something, you'll need to see it through.
I understand. So take it one thing at a time. That makes sense. What would you recommend in catering?
Honestly, the tofu. Even if you eat meat, give it a try. The seasoning is incredible.
How do I improve my skills around here?
It's just like the old saying goes, practice makes perfect. The more matches and experience you have in WWE, the better. From there, it's usually up to you to determine how you want to apply what you've learned, whether it's improving your strength, getting better at submissions, or putting more power behind your punches. You get the idea.
You said it's usually up to me what I want to improve?
Sure is. Occasionally, you'll find that certain kinds of matches will benefit you in a more specific sort of way. But if that's the case, you'll know that going in. Sports entertainer insight, I call it.
Okay, cool.
Any other questions? Or anything you'd like me to explain again?
Thanks, Tom. I think I have the info I need.
Fantastic. Good luck tonight, LJ. I'm certain I'll see you around soon.
Hey! Welcome to SmackDown.
Thanks. You know, after what Liv said at Survivor Series, I wasn't sure if I'd be getting the warmest welcome today.
Oh, you won't be. But I have a different perspective than the rest of the girls. In fact, I'm actually usually pretty rude to the newbies because, well, I don't want them coming for my SmackDown Women's Championship, but I don't have to worry about you at all.
But I plan on coming for that championship.
Oh my goodness, you're hilarious! After your huge mistake in the Survivor Series match, I know that must have been a joke. I don't have to be rude to you at all. We can be friends.
I think we're done here. So, I know I didn't exactly get the best start, but I've got my head on straight now and I'm ready to go.
That's great to hear.
What do you have for me tonight?
Now, here's something that's less great to hear. WWE management thinks that after everything that's happened, we should take a beat before we put the spotlight back on you.
Don't worry. I took your advice to heart. I'm okay with starting small, out of the spotlight. I'm not expecting to main event right away.
Good, because you won't be. I'm going to level with you. Backstage sentiment is not good right now. You may be a SmackDown superstar, but you've got an uphill battle if you actually want to be on the show.
So my match tonight is...
Non-existent.
Ah. What can I do? I don't want to just sit in catering.
No one does. But this will all blow over. My advice until then? Find some way to make an impact. Be so good in the ring that they can't deny you.
How am I supposed to do that if I can't get a match?
I said I couldn't get you a match on SmackDown. There are other opportunities to wrestle. Actually, I can pull some strings and get you on main event. You'll need to find an opponent, though. Most of the roster is pretty busy with commitments on SmackDown, and I don't have time to play matchmaker.
Pretty busy or pretty mad at me, from the sound of it.
Yeah, I may have heard those rumblings. Although, have you met Ava Moreno yet? She's pretty new to SmackDown too, and also would have something to gain with a good showing on main event.
We've met. I'm not sure she wants to work with me.
Neither of you have to work with anyone. You just have to show up and fight each other. Get her to agree to that, and I'll set up the match. If there's some sort of beef between you two, lean into it. No one said the match had to be friendly.
Well, if it isn't little Justine, I would say I'm sorry how your big debut turned out, but I don't like to lie. What do you want?
Let's cut to the chase. I want a match on main event. Molly said she can get me one if I find an opponent. It sounds like getting that exposure could help both of us. Are you interested?
Sure.
Great. That was actually easier than I thought.
Oh, but let me be clear. I want a match on main event, but not one against you. I want to make an impact here in WWE and make my matches count. It doesn't help me at all to defeat some jobber.
What did you just call me?
If I wasn't perfectly clear at Survivor Series, I like people who've come up the right way and paid their dues. Not nieces who get handed special treatment because of what family they're a part of. And if that wasn't enough, I certainly don't like you after you proved me right and made a mess of things.
Regardless of what you think of me, I don't see how just sitting around and complaining is going to change anything.
I know as well as you do that no one else in the locker room is gonna help you. You want a match with me? Prove that you have what it takes when you have to work for an opportunity. Pay some dues and stop waltzing around expecting special treatment.
I don't waltz.
We can agree to disagree, LJ. What do you want? I told you my terms. Doesn't seem like you've paid any dues at all.
I've got some good news for you.
You've actually got a match for me this week?
Actually, yes.
Wow, I wasn't expecting that kind of good news. Thank you.
I should clarify. It's not on SmackDown, but at a non-televised live event. Dana Brooke was supposed to have a match, but she did one too many handsprings, sprained her wrist, and can't compete this weekend.
A match is a match, and if it helps me win a little favor around here to step up, count me in.
Winning the match would help you gain even more favor.
What are you doing? 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 What are you doing?
The following contest is scheduled for one fall. Making her way to the ring from Jacksonville, Florida, the Warrior Princess. And from Staten Island, New York, the most beautiful woman in all of WWE, Carmella! Here is your winner, the Warrior Princess.